Imagine being buried in $45,000 of credit card debt with an average interest rate of 27%, but then coming up with a game plan that will save you $85,000 in interest while still allowing you to enjoy your life in the present. Sound too good to be true? Well, here's how I helped a client do just that. Meet Kevin and Lori, a hardworking couple who earns $250,000 per year. Kevin is a top-performing salesperson at his company, and Lori is a dedicated nurse. They have a young daughter named Cece, and from the outside, everything looks perfect. But behind closed doors, they were drowning in credit card debt. So, how did they get there? Well, it's a story that many of us can relate to. They had their first child, Cece, which of course brought them a ton of joy, but also new expenses. They also became less intentional with their spending and stopped tracking it as closely. And they had an unexpected medical expense that hit them pretty hard. Before they knew it, they were in $45,000 of credit card debt between 4 cards, all above 27% interest. They dealt with it for a while, at least making the minimum payments. But in the back of their minds, they had this lingering reminder of their credit card debt. It almost felt like they would never be able to pay it off, and it certainly was the main source of their financial stress. When Kevin and Lori came to me, they felt limited and held back, stressed about their financial future, and overwhelmed by the mountain of debt. Have you ever felt like this? If so, you're not alone. Their minimum monthly payments were $1,086. It would take them 11 years to pay off their debts, making just the minimum payments. And the total interest they would pay, $101,000. That's 25% more than the median household income in America. Two very popular debt payoff strategies are the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. Let's take a look at how these options could help and ultimately which one we decided to implement. We'll start with the debt snowball. This is where you list your debts from smallest balance to largest. You keep making the minimum payments on all of your cards. Then, any extra money is put towards the card with the lowest balance. This helps you see progress quickly and knock out your debts in a way that's motivating. This will have them pay off their debt in just over 5.5 years, paying around $45,000 in total interest. Definitely better than making just the minimum payments. This is where you list your debts based on the highest interest rate first. You make the minimum payment on all of your cards. Then, any extra money is put towards the card with the highest interest rate. Compared to the debt snowball, this will save you more in interest, but depending on your situation, it could take longer to pay off your first debt, which could cause you to lose motivation and ultimately abandon the strategy altogether. Using this debt avalanche, though, still has them pay off their debts in around 5.5 years. And they'll save about $1,000 in interest compared to the debt snowball, coming in at $44,000 of total interest paid. As you can see, both of these strategies are much better than paying only the monthly minimum payment. So, which strategy did we choose? Neither. Here's what we did instead. One advantage that Kevin and Lori had was their high income of $250,000 a year. This opened up an additional option beyond just the traditional debt snowball or debt avalanche approach, a personal loan. Here's how it works. We used their personal loan to pay off all of their credit card debt. It slashed their average interest rate of 27% down to 15%. Instead of being debt-free in 11 years by just making the monthly minimum payments, or over 5.5 years by doing the debt snowball or debt avalanche, they'll be debt-free in just 4 years. They'll pay only $15,000 in interest, which saves them $86,000 compared to making only the monthly minimum payments. Plus, they'll still save about $30,000 in interest compared to the debt avalanche, which is more than the price of a used car in America. Let's do a quick recap. The impact was immediate and significant. They now have a single fixed payment that doesn't fluctuate based on their monthly spending and credit card use. Their stress levels are reduced because they see light at the end of the tunnel. Plus, they can still enjoy their life in the present. They can afford this monthly fixed payment and still spend money on things that they enjoy. While this strategy worked great for Kevin and Lori, finance isn't a one-size-fits-all approach. Here are a few things to be aware of. You need to be able to qualify for a personal loan to begin with. If your current debt rate is high or you have a low credit score, this could be a challenge.